Salutations and good morrow everyone, and welcome back to another grounded update video, guys, where today we have just released the 1.2 update hotfix, and with that they added a bunch of new audio logs. Yes, there is more to the story now, guys. I have loaded them in for us here for us to listen to. We are going to start with the ominous logs 4 through 6, and then we're going to start on the personal logs. Okay, so let's start with the ominous log number 4. While we're doing this, I'm just going to be running around. I may try to find something to do. I'm not sure yet, but we're going to see. Let's load this one in to start.
Eminent Practical Technologies, Dr. Wendell Tolley, Science Division, log 88.05.29G. Oh, or is that H? H for safety. Final evaluation tests of the spacer are going well, though I have noticed some minor errors in transcription where a non-trivial number of particles are not being conserved. I have observed no ill side effects, but making a note to check that later.
Making a note.
I'm still annoyed by Dr. Klein's attitude at the barbecue when I confided in him about my success. He was arrogant, as always, dismissing my breakthroughs in covalent spacing reduction, questioning the very use of shrinking technology. What a ridiculous lack of vision. World hunger, overpopulation, global warming, just the tip of the iceberg.
Okay, so as you guys can see, he tried to confide in another doctor about what is going on and what he's been working on, because he did it. If you guys remember in the last one, Dr. Wendell was talking about the fact that he had succeeded. So let's move on to the next ominous log. So that was number 4. So let's listen to number 5.
Eminent Practical Technologies, Dr. Wendell Tolley, Science Division, log 88.06.23A. Finally, my genius is recognized. My ominous minders have requested a demonstration of the spacer. I do wonder how they even found out about it. No doubt it was the loose lips of that blabbing Klein. But perhaps his indiscretion has worked in my favor in this instance, and I will have the last laugh. Once Omen sees what I have accomplished here, I will prove that their many years of investment in me was not a mistake. How it will feel to have them watch me in my moment of triumph. This is what I have been working toward my entire career. Recognition at last.
Okay, as you guys can see, now Dr. Wendell has been noticed by Ominid, and they want him to show off his new invention. I'm going to check out right now to see. Water Striders still don't attack, but that's okay. Let's check out ominous log number 6.
Eminent Practical Technologies, Dr. Wendell Tolley, Science Division, log 88.07.01.
88.701.
First test demonstration of the spacer. Director Hubert Picon in attendance.
Hubert Picon.
Begin recording. Everyone, thank you for coming. Today, I will show you nothing less than a quantum leap forward in technology. This is the spacer. It is a machine that has the power to shrink any object many times over, unleashing the power of the miniature world. Now, I'm sure that some of you will be skeptical, but I have no doubt that a demonstration of this device will show you a vision of the future, of Ominid's future, of our future. Now, if you will all put on your peeper goggles, I'll begin the demonstration. Behold, the future.
Disappointing sound from mechanical failure.
Everyone, please stay in your seats. Please stay in your seats. This is a minor issue, I assure you. Just give me a moment. I can fix this. I can fix this.
So it sounds like they went ahead and tried to run the simulation or run the machine for Ominid, and it ended up failing. Okay. You guys can see I'm aggroed by the spider here now, so that's good to see that the spiders are actually aggroing and attacking now. They move around behind you and try to attack now as well with this update. But let's move on to personal log number 6. So that is all the Ominid logs. So at that point, I'm assuming maybe he's going to be dismissed from Ominid. But let's move on to personal log number 6. So we're going into Wendell's personal logs now, so that way it's going to be telling us more about what he's doing on with the spacer and the shrink ray, whatever it is, whatever he likes to call it, at his house. So let's go.
I was a fool to have ever doubted myself. A fool like Klein, like Kaminsky, like Picon, like all of Ominent. I am here in the backyard. Down in the backyard. I mean, I am speaking to you from the backyard. I am tiny! I should gather my thoughts. This is a momentous occasion.
I am tiny.
Wendell Tully official log, 89.08.
Recording as I take my first steps into the miniature world. Sorry, the audio just cut out for some reason. So apparently that one may be a slight bit bugged. Not quite ready for us to hear the rest of it yet. Here, let's see if we can move on to number 7. Personal log number 7.
Now, let's review the progress of the last few months. I'm getting ever closer to perfecting the spacer and the XP. Raw science containment has been a success. At last measurement, we are within 0.2% translation accuracy, but those final infinitesimal bits have proven the most difficult. Despite that, Virgil and I have been able to transit the miniature world without incident. I must admit it has been a bit overwhelming of late. Between Ominent and school, nightly work in the basement and yard, and this sweltering summer heat, I feel stretched thin. Some nights I find myself too exhausted to work on my experiments. All this is going to give me gray hairs. I mean, why, just the other day, Trudy said that the stress is putting new wrinkles on my face. She may have a point about the hair, though. As much as I'm loath to admit it, it does seem to be thinning. Perhaps it's time to dig out the SCA.B clamp and try it on myself. I'm sure it's in a bin or box
SCA.B
around here
clamp.
somewhere.
Okay, so let's move on to listen to see what's on the next tape. Alright guys, so here's personal log 8.
This morning, I installed the borrowed lab modules. Another one of my forgotten inventions from the early days. I had such grand notions back then. The Kinder Science mini quick little chemist lab educational toy for children. Oh, but no, Wendell, we can't possibly put hydrochloric acid into the hands of children. The lawyers will never agree. It's a good thing I never told them about the Bunsen burners. I digress. The lab network is now up and running in the backyard. I'm planning to dedicate each one of them to a different function. Main power will run through here. The Oak Lab is the center of operations for the backyard. The second lab is nestled into the hedge. Such wonderful views from up there.
Dr. Tully, it is almost time for your appointment.
Already? Well, very well. Mustn't be late and keep Dr. Applebaum waiting.
Okay guys, so there we go. It started to give us a little bit more about what is behind the scenes with Dr. Wendell and what each base is about, right? Because they are talking about what they're going to do with each one of the bases, where the hedge base is for observation and communications. The Oak Lab is the main power converter. So let's continue on with the story and figure out what else is in here. We go back to OS or data and we find Wendell personal log 8.
This morning I installed
no, I'm sorry.
lab
9.
modules.
Stop.
Another one
Stop.
of my forgotten inventions.
Okay, whoops. I mean Dr. Personal log number 9.
Dr. Applebaum has pronounced me in perfect health. For a man 20 years my senior. I must face the facts. The gray hairs, the wrinkles, they are not figments of the imagination. I can draw only one reasonable conclusion. It is the elusive fractional errors of the shrinking process which are the cause. Trudy has asked that I discontinue my experiments, but what choice do I have? If I quit now, I will have nothing. What will I be other than a failed inventor and scientist with no discoveries to his name, unable even to teach the basics of physics to a gaggle of hormonal teenagers? No! If this means that I must sacrifice 20 years of my life, then so be it.
Wow. So what we just found out there is that the shrinking machine is slowly killing Dr. Wendell. It's slowly aging him more and more and more, pushed him forward 20 years, which could be why they are using children for the experiment, because maybe they're a little bit more stretchy so they can handle a little bit more. Let's move on to personal log number 10.
I don't need this now. Abnormalities in the readings, unexpected power fluctuations, raw science run rampant.
Don't forget incursions by local fauna.
Mouthy robotic assistants. I'm so tired. All these new variables that need to be accounted for, they're ruining everything in my most desperate hour. It has all turned against me. Even as I walk around the backyard, I feel the walls of grass closing in on me, the tips of those green blades like daggers pointed at my heart. I see, no, I feel the unblinking, multifaceted eyes of the ants and spiders reflecting my misshapen visage, watching, always watching, and bearing witness to my failure.
Well,
Perhaps it is time for me to lay down and admit defeat. Perhaps this is all the success that was meant for me. Perhaps it is enough.
so as we can see, guys, Dr. Wendell is starting to question himself, and also he's starting to go a little bit out of it up here, right? I think because he shrunk himself down so many times that those little fraction particles, I mean, if you shrink yourself down 100 times, even if something's 0.002%, I mean, after a while, 100 times, that becomes like 0.2%. So, okay, so that starts to grow and grow and grow, especially if it's in your brain. That is a lot. So we're going to continue on with ominent log, or personal log number 12, because we did 10, 11, now we're going to do 12.
I cannot bear to look upon myself any longer. I've become a monster. Inhuman, less than the insects that are my only companions now. I've become old, well before my years. A shrunken husk of a man, a walking corpse like lurk and shriek, doomed to the executioner's axe. I cannot show my face to Trudy and the kids. She was right all along, as she always is. I have no choice but to remain here, living exiled in the backyard. I have diverted my remaining strength and will into finding a cure for this malady, this raisinification, if you will. It is my only hope now. All other research initiatives must be placed on hold, or it will be too late. It may already be too late. It is only fitting that I am so small, tiny, minuscule, just like my legacy.
Wow. So guys, as you guys can see, let me up my gamma a little bit here so we can actually see what the heck's going on in the backyard. But as you guys can see, Dr. Wendell has now completely lost it. He has confined himself to the backyard. He is back here and he decided, I'm never going to go up and see my family again. Which means not only is he shrunk down and having a problem with how he looks and like losing mass and everything like that, could be from lack of eating, could be from what he's eating, could be just be a side effect from being shrunken down, but he is slowly losing his mind as well, to the point where he won't even go face his family anymore. We have one more log here to listen to, and then once this log's over, we'll give a kind of an overview of what happened in these logs. So here we go, personal log number 13. We're going to get chased by a orb weaver.
Always watching. The backyard is watching. Strange noises, stranger occurrences, coincidences. Oh, I think not. Or is it my mind playing tricks on me? I feel the senility at the edges of my thoughts. I have grown so old.
Wow.
Just the other day, I found my tape recorder laying out that I knew I had put away. I would not have been so careless, and yet there it was. Could it have been Burgle? No. No. Such a conspiracy would be beyond his capabilities. Something darker is afoot.
Wow. That's definitely not a natural occurring structure unless crystals come with computers now. My keen deductive reasoning suggests that that's where the signal's coming from. Nice. That's what Pete's saying. Anyway, guys, so as you guys can tell, Dr. Wendell has lost it. Okay, he feels as though he's being watched by everybody. Could be the Watcher watching him, guys, but he is pretty much out of it now. He's lost all recognition of who he is. He's lost all recognition of who's around him, and he feels as though the backyard is watching him, that the bugs are after him, and that he himself is withering away. So it is a very sad story at this point, how much further that we have come. But what we do know is that this isn't the end yet, right? There's still more. There's still ominent logs. How did all this ominent machinery get back here? Why is there so many chairs when there's only one person? Why would you need more than one chair in a base? Why would he shrink down so many bases, right? He said that each one of the bases has a specific function. So we have to figure out what all of those functions are and what happened to poor Dr. Wendell. And all that is going to be coming up very soon, guys. So guys, make sure you guys subscribe and like this video. And make sure you guys are always here for the next awesome updates that are coming for this game. So I can go over more things that were updated after they released hotfix 1.1.2 or whatever it is. So thank you guys all so much. And I'll see all of you guys in the next one.